When it gets too dark, I'll be your light, because that's what we do on Mindset Monday. And today we're talking about leveling up with a mindset hack. I wanted to bring you some of these because I get a lot of questions about, hey, how do you approach this? What do you think about that? What's the best way to do that? And hey, why not share them here on Mindset Monday? So that's what we're going to do. I'm your girl, Jeanette Smith, certified life strategist and mindset coach, saying hello to all the empowerment tribe and all you workplace warriors, whether you're at home, working from home, like I do, or some of you that are doing half and half, you go in sometimes you're at home, or whether those of you who have returned to the workplace fully. Hopefully for all of us, stay-at-home moms, whatever it is you do, and you have to expend time on anything, this broadcast is for you. We're going to be talking about how to get the most out of that. Let's see who is here today. Candace, good morning. Hello on Facebook. Hello, Susan. How are you? Good to see you. I see you, brother. I see you. Good to see you, Steve. And as all of you kind of roll in across Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, I hope that you will share this, because I know that today's mindset hack is something that anybody can use. That's the beauty of it. Like I said, you don't have to be in a corporate job holding position to want to be more productive. Here's a little tweetable for you today. You're only productive if you produce. So busyness, that thing we think is a spiritual gifting, is not really best suited to help us accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. And you all know I'm about making sure we all get from dream to reality, following that path of purpose. And 2021 is right around the corner. So you're only productive if you produce. If you're just busy, that's not going to get us anywhere. All right. So we're going to talk about this mindset of planning your results, not your time. Planning your results and not your time. And we're going to focus on time blocking. Now, if those of you that are out here, good morning. You got your From Dream to Reality book. Woohoo! Tamara was a winner on my anniversary show, so I'm glad you got your book. Hello, Reverend Doctor. Good to see you. Welcome in the room. If you know that you could use help in this area of time management and planning for results and not just planning tasks, just put "that's me" in the chat. Good morning, Leola. Good to see you. Yes, it's another Mindset Monday. You are welcome. Just put "that's me." If you have the best laid plans, you'll even have the best tasks lists that Stephen Covey Planners has ever seen. But at the end of the day or the end of the week, you find that you were not as productive as you had hoped that you had been. Anybody been there? I have a feeling. I just have this feeling that all of us have been there at some point or another, whether you type "that's me" or not. So I want to go ahead and start looking at what does it mean to get more focused on results versus our block of time. So for all of us who either you have one singular focus, or some of you have this job and then you have this job, or maybe you're a part of boards or other kind of entities, and whatever it is, you're managing the household. You have got to be on track with time. I mean, special kudos out to parents in the pandemic. Those pandemic parenting folks out there who are trying to juggle school and house and home all in one space. God love you. But the part of the problem for any of us is how we plan. And I'll be honest with you, I even slipped myself during the pandemic because it was such a weirdness to not have to, I don't have to go into the, even though I had Zoom sessions or whatever, I didn't have, that kind of press on me at the beginning to do this at this time and this at this time. I was basically working almost 20 hours. I was like, I'll get it done. I'll sit down for a little bit and then I'll get it done. That wasn't healthy either. I was still highly productive, but how I was doing it wasn't great. And I wasn't giving ample time to other things that I wanted to do. I was getting all my work done, but there's some other dreams and things I wanted to work on too. And I have to be able to give ample time to those things as well. I see you, Daryl. Welcome in the room. So let's look at how we can do a little bit better in that area. We're going to look at time blocking versus the task list. So to help you remember it a little better, time blocking is how we plan out every moment of our day in advance with dedicated times, blocking times, okay? That's what we do. Our task list, it could be, get this report done, go to the store, make sure the kids are in the, virtual school. Those are tasks. But how long does it take you to do each one of those things? See, that's where it gets lost in the sauce, because we look and our day has floated away from us and we have maybe gotten 3 or 4 of those things done on the task list, but we haven't been productive. Here's, there is a Parkinson's law. The human brain needs guardrails, okay? And this is why time blocking really works. So with our brain needing these guardrails, what happens is your task and how you think about the time around your task, your work just expands to fill the time available. It might only take you 15 minutes to do something that you end up doing in 30 or 45, because your brain will expand the tasks and each part of what you have to do to fill the time you tell it has. So your work will continue to expand if you put your tasks into blocks and say, I'm going to work on this from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, you shift for this to this. That holds you accountable, and your brain goes, oh, we only have an hour to get this done, not 3 hours, or just whenever I get it done. Make sense? Makes sense? So I want you all to remember this. And I mean, in everything that I share, please, please, please go find it, look it up, verify for yourself. But these are the things that I've come to learn that have helped me get the most out of my day, right? I have a large church that has a lot of needs that I love that side, because that feeds my ministry side and that feeds the side of me to give back and to contribute and to grow. I got to do that. But God has also called me to do some other stuff. And so if I'm going to get it all done and be a good steward over my time, you got to know how to make the best out of it. So I want you to start using a digital calendar, like a Google Calendar, any kind of digital calendar. And if you use that, just say that's me. Let me know that you use some sort of digital calendar. I'm going to show you how this helps and why this helps. I like to try to encourage people to write things down. Some people fight against me, but the thing is, when you write things down, I actually have 2. I have a digital calendar, and then I also have one that I write notes and different things in as well. But that's the guardrails that keep us, managing time in a wise way. Think through and record how you're going to spend some time. So let me show you a couple of examples. And I see you all. I see you, Periscope. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, that's you. That's you. Okay, so let's look at some examples how this mindset hack will work for you. And I'm going to show you like intermediary to like how it could get deep. All right, so here's one. Now this person just marks out, I need time to write. This isn't their main job, but they're a writer. And so from 6 to 7, shower, breakfast, that's that part of my routine. And then from 7 to 9, writing. You have to schedule it in. When you schedule it in, it makes it real. And when you schedule it in, you will respect it more. You'll put more value on it. And guess what? Here's something else, y'all. The people around you will too. A lot of times what's hard for us is keeping our boundaries around the things that we want to work on and being more productive, because the people who influence our day aren't so much on the help me train. And it's not their fault all the time, because many times they just don't know what you're trying to do. What are you up to? You say, I need some me time. I need some, but you need to say, from this time to this time, I'm working on this. Even if you do this like in a Google Calendar, you could print this out. I see you, Steve. That's me. Two of they. Right. I got you. All right. So this is just one easy breezy, way. So let's look at, that's a little more intense. Let's go to this one. This one is a little looser in its boundaries, but it still has those guardrails up that your mind needs. So this person says from 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., I'm doing meaningful work. And that meaningful work for them is their personal work. That is, whether it's meditation or yoga or prayer or whatever, or reading, whatever, that's their me time. That's what they call their meaningful work. Okay. And then after that, 6:30 to 7:30, they do their daily work. Okay. And that's not saying all of it gets done. They're just working on workplace work for 6:30 to 7:30. You're like, that's only an hour. Yep, they'll come back to it. Okay, 7:30 to 9:30, they got to get the kids ready. They get ready, get the kids to school. So there's that little thing. So you see how they've planned out even this time before this. Now, I want y'all to be honest. How many of you would got up at 5:30, hit the alarm, gone back to sleep, got ready around 6:30 to be out the door with the kids 7:30? We waste so much time. There's so much time between the time our eyes open, we wake up, and the time we actually get going. Now, I just, anybody brave out there gonna say, yeah, that's me sometimes. Because I'll admit that's been me sometimes too. Right? But I get into a great pattern when, boom, I'm up at 7:30, and I get me and Nala straight, and I get into it. You get that little jump start out the gate. Here's a reminder of how much time you can actually have in your day to get some stuff going. I see you, Susan. Thank you. Thank you for keeping it real with me today, Mama. I know the rest of them have too. This is how you keep yourself honest and keep it 100. If you will chart out what you can do with your time. So after they get their kids together, then they go 9:30 to 10:30. That's my time to check mail. I'm going to slack a little bit, give myself about an hour to just fall out. Twitter, email, okay? And then look, at 10:30, after that hour, it's back to daily work, okay? But look how much they've done from a productive standpoint. Now, let me tell you how this kind of really helped someone like me. And maybe there's those of you who are like me, you're overachievers. You're overachievers, and you have to keep your perfectionist gene in check. All right. This really helps me. All right. This really helps me. I'm going to make it bigger so you can see. Blocking out time will keep you honest. So here's an example of from 6:30 to 8:30 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 to 7 Thursday on Tuesday and Thursday. To 7:30 on Tuesday and Thursday. That is the morning routine. I highly recommend you start your day blocking out what's my morning routine. Now, for some of you, don't scream. For some of you, this may mean getting up a little earlier. Don't scream. Don't shriek. Don't scream. You might have to get up a little bit earlier. And so you may have to go to bed a little bit earlier, right? Welcome in the room, Ms. Helen. For this mindset hack to work, you got to be willing to try something different, because if you were getting some different results, you wouldn't need me, your coach, to come on and tell you, hey, here's a mindset hack that's going to help you be more productive, right? So just try it. Set that time in the morning that's going to be for you, right? Between 6 and 8:30, right? Now, 8:30 to 10:15, deep work in the office, all right? That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So deep work, you get a good almost 2 hours in. And then look, and then they pull up to shallow work. So you dig in deep, you pull up to shallow work, because as you're transitioning to shallow work, that helps you transition to regular work and then lunch. So that it's not time for lunch, because here's what happens, especially for those in the workplace. I see you, Marcia. I see you on YouTube. Yes, yes. You're screaming. The thing that happens is you get close to when you need a break. And I get it. Workaholics, martyrs of all types. What's lunch? We don't do lunch. We work through lunch and we bear it with cheese sticks at our desks or whatever. That's not healthy. We're going for holistic, healthy workers, more productive, yet more thriving and vibrant workers in 2021. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it's do something different, right? Do something different. So if you start with deep work and then you move to shallow work, you see here, and then you move into work that will allow you to transition into lunch, you'll feel better about taking that hour or so to do what you got to do. All right. Then there's some Zooms that are scheduled in here, and you can see how things are color coded. So like lunch, personal stuff, wellness stuff is in blue. Wellness stuff is in blue. The morning routine is in blue. Lunch is in blue. Family time, bedtime routine is in blue. Those are and look, this should really help you out. Look how much time you give to your own well-being during the day versus how much time we give to other things. Now, what's in yellow is the gym. So that is a part of health and well-being, all right? That is a part of that. But look at how much of the rest of it is about work. You can't feel bad about taking an hour for yourself when the rest of your day is chunked with work, right? There's an old model for governing employees and for working that says, and I can say this because my dad worked for the Air Force for his entire career. You just work until you can't work anymore. And then you go eat a block of cheese and get an hour's sleep. And then you come back and you work. That is an old model mindset. And then when that person falls out and is no longer of use, you toss them and then you hire another person and you work them until they need a block of cheese and an hour of sleep. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You are your best self when you take care of your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul. You are your best self when you take care of your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul. You are your best self, and you produce more when you take care of your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul. Therefore, bring all of your superpower to the table. Bring it all to the table. And the way we do that is by scheduling time for the needful stuff. Let's go to the chats. My alarm is set for 5 a.m. for prayer and then my mantra meditation before I get my grandchildren woken up at 7. There you go. You block it out. And because you block it out, now it's important to you. You keep it locked in there and people have to respect it. And it makes you respect it. That's great. Thanks for sharing. Good morning. I need tips on what to do if my kids wake up at 5. I'm putting a pin in that and coming back to you because I know the struggle is real. Susan says, don't do lunch because we keep doing deep work. Makes sense. You see what I'm saying, Susan? Because you feel bad leaving a project in the middle of, deep work. You got to ramp it back so it's a natural and organic place to step away. Because if you don't, you won't even enjoy the 1 hour for well-being and needful eating because your brain will be wrapped around, I got to do this and I got to do that. When you step away for lunch, that's supposed to be another time of well-being where you can just dream, envision, let your mind float, whatever you need to do. Good morning, Miss Vonda. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Pamela. So let's go back and look at this schedule on the back end of the day, okay? So after lunch, there's some Zooms, then there's work, shallow work, and then wind down. Work, shallow work. Why shallow work? For a couple of reasons. If you've been up since 6 a.m. and you've been working, your brain, your energy, and all of that is going to start to wane toward the 4 o'clock hour. So there's no sense in picking the 4 o'clock hour or whatever. Use this to adjust to your schedule, because I realize some of you work overnights. I've got some essential workers on here. I know some of you work, different hours, but equate it to, your work situation. And even saying that, I realize some of my essential workers, you don't get to pick how much heavy weight you get to lift at the end of your work shift. God bless you. Love you to life, and just pray you're restored for all that you need to do. For those of us who it applies and can apply, if you don't have to pick up the heaviest mental weight of your day at 4 o'clock, don't do it, because you're not going to bring your fresh perspective, and you're not going to bring, the energy of fresh eyes, fresh ears, fresh thinking. And we are all about out the box for 2021. We're out the box. So there's not a lot of ways to think out the box when you kind of dulling. That's why you work your way down to a wind down. And you see that comes around the 4:30, 5:30, right? 5:30, the wind down, so that when they get home at 6, they're not bringing work home. This also works if work for you right now is upstairs in a side office or downstairs in a basement office. This works for you too. In fact, this is what helped me in the pandemic, because look, I'm in the apartment, I'm by myself. Who do I need the time block for? As long as I have my task list and I do. And I used to be great about this because Google Calendar is my jam. But like I told you, there was a place in the middle of the pandemic. I was like, I'll just, work till I get it done. And then I found this is unhealthy. This is why I do my time blocking, because I was working 20 hours. There'd be some days I'd be on this red chair at 5 or 6 in the morning and wouldn't get out of that red chair until 1 in the morning the next morning. Can't do that. I mean, you have the grace and space to work at home, but you also want to be like a decent human being in your home and not walking around with crazy eyes. Right? So when you schedule your blocks of time, you make sure that at the beginning of your day, you've got your morning routine. In the middle of your day, you're shifting to where you take lunch, shifting your work down to heavy work, back a little bit shallow, and then the rest of the week. And make sure you schedule in your family time. I know that sounds crazy. You just, whenever I'm around. You have to really make that intentional. Schedule your family time. And for those of you who are like me, you're single, you still can have family time. My mom and I have family time throughout the day, but we always make sure that we touch base in the morning and at night, usually several times during the day. But you got to schedule that, because if you don't, those brown blocks get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you look up and you didn't connect with this person. And let me tell you something, you won't feel it for a week or two, but when you start losing connection with people, you will feel it. And that will be an overall part of what impacts your ability to produce, because we're not built to be siloed. We're not built I'm happy I can live by myself, but if I couldn't talk to anybody ever, you need that connection. You need that connection to thrive. And some of us need it more than we really, really know. So make time for connecting. All right. Now let's look a little bit deeper into some of these tips, because I feel like you're getting it and I feel like you see the benefits. So as we're talking about planning our results, not our time, through time blocking, let's take a look at the things that you'll need. First of all, start using a digital calendar like Google Calendar. That's what I was showing you. That's Google Calendar there. You can make whatever your time blocks, you can make them in different colors. It's a great hack. I'm telling you, and it's so easy to use. They make it so easy to use. The second thing, that time blocking. As you're time blocking, you're saying, I'm going to work on this from this time to this time, right? And you're focused on results. Because remember, you're only productive if you produce. Not just that you spend an hour on something, but in your mind, where do you want to be at the end of that hour? Think through that and record how you're going to spend your time. Think through that and plan the result you intend to produce, not just how you're going to spend the time, right? So instead of just going, so this is one level, okay? But this is a person who has been pretty on top of their time blocking. But if you need more detail and more help, then you would go into some of these brown blocks and list what is your deep work. 1, 2, 3 tasks. What is your shallow work? 1, 2. What is your regular? 1 thing. So that you know from 8:30 to 10:15, I'm only working on these 2 things. And set yourself a goal. If your goal is, I just work on them for as much as I get done in that time, that's fine. But if you need to hit a certain marker, you do that. And let me press you, because I coach many authors, many creatives. You have to give yourself definition. Remember, the brain needs guardrails, because if you tell me, I'll get it done today, I'm going to take all day to get it done. Versus saying, I have this much time to do it. Okay. And it's just healthier for you. Pharrell says, love your segments. Thank you. Good to see you, brother. All right. So if you need a little more help, remember, get more detailed. Get more detailed. If you need more help, get more detailed in that. All right. Now, instead of just jumping in your workday, I've already told you, you're going to make time to connect with yourself. You're going to make time for a health check-in, a well-being check-in in the middle of the day, whether that's your lunch or your dinner, whatever that is. And then you're also going to schedule that time for your family and your hobbies. Put something in there that you enjoy, even if you can only spend an hour on it. Try to find a way to connect, because you want to stay in connection with all the parts of you that are fun, that are spontaneous. You all who know me know in the middle of the stream, well, at the beginning of the stream, I dance in the open. It helps me bring my energy to you. So somebody might think, well, that's crazy, but I've scheduled that time. That is 2 minutes out of my day where I'm just going to dance like I'm crazy. And then I'll move on to the next thing, right? So make time for fun, for laughter, for lightness, all right? Because some of you might be looking at this calendar and go, that just seems like a much, and it might look chaotic to you, but really it's the opposite effect, because your brain will now let go of the things that you've recorded. Your brain is that little recording machine that's like, I don't want you to forget. I don't want you to forget. So you walk around clouded with all these tasks that you have in your head, or how I need to do them, instead of just blocking it out. This is the time I'm going to work on it. This is the result I'm going to get. Then your brain goes, okay, now I can sleep better because I'm going to let that go. It works. I'm telling you, it works. It really works. So the last thing, or the last reason why this mindset works so well, is because you don't know that you're distracted. You don't always know when you're distracted. You're working on something, but you hadn't planned to work on it from 10 to 11. So if anything else floats up to you, you just kind of, and then you're out of 11 o'clock into 11:30, chasing something that you had no intention of even spending 2 minutes on, but now you've spent 20, and you're like, now I got to finish this. Time blocking helps you set those guardrails, so you don't throw your time away, and people will respect it, and you will respect it because you communicate it. Plan the result you want, not just how you spend your time, because that's the trip up of to-do lists and task lists. The standard to-do list tells you what you need to do, while this time blocking will tell you when you're going to do it and to what depth, so that you can have more time to breathe in your day. And let me just tell you this one tip. Overplan. Like I call it padding your schedule. If you think something's going to take you an hour, just say an hour 15, hour 20. Because sometimes until you get this down, you really don't know what it takes to do what you do. Farrell says, I have undiagnosed ADD. It's very challenging to keep on task. Truly a struggle. Yeah, I get that. And that's why time blocking works. Because even for those of us who might be in that position, undiagnosed ADD, or you just don't, you're just not great with time management. It's always better to spend the time on the front end just thinking it through so that, you do this on a Saturday, your week is planned. Yes, you have to stay flexible to make sure that you can adjust if need be. But outside of that, oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Y'all, she is really trying to get to y'all. Say hello to our show mascot, Nala. But for those of us who are pulled on, and I know, Farrah, I know you're one, who are pulled on in many different directions, it is easy to go, oh yeah, that is a needful thing. Oh, that is a needful thing. And never even weigh, what should I allow my schedule to be flexed for? So then you get to the end of the week and you might have been productive to a degree, but you didn't do it to the degree that you were able to not only do your work, but to work on futures planning for you dreamers, you content creators, those of you who are writing books and doing other things, right? So you want to make the most of this time. And I'm telling you, do it now so that you're hit the ground running in 2021. So true. I'm glad you got it. Caitlin says, I didn't realize how heavy work was on my mind until I planned what points to hit each day. Yes, right? You don't even realize how much you're carrying mentally. And I have a phrase, I say mental gymnastics. I'll tell somebody, they'll come to me toward the end of the day and say, hey, I just need to ask you. And I'll be like, okay, in all honesty, how much mental gymnastics am I going to have to do for this? Because this is going to help me know how to communicate to you how well I can show up, right? Even with Mom and I, we've made a pact. Like, we don't talk about really heavy stuff right before we go to bed. Like, that just, do not talk about really heavy stuff right before you go to bed. Some of you, it doesn't, but some of us, does not work. Hi, Nala Boo Boo. Your auntie says hi. She just kept jumping up on my leg until she could see you also. Thank you for being here. Okay. Last tip. You're going to get your digital apparatus for doing your calendar, your digital calendar, like Google Calendar or whatever you choose. You're going to think through and record how you're going to spend your time. Very important. And the last thing, you're going to plan for the result you want. Don't just say, I'm going to work on this project from this to this. What do you want to get done by the end of that time? And it's okay if it's not the whole project. There's some of you like me. I have a hard time because when I start something, I want to finish it, the whole thing. And I know where mine comes from, right? So many of you know I was in news and did network television for a long time. That's how you work. You have X amount of time to write the story, and then you read the story, or you record the story, or you report the story, or you anchor the story, and then it's done. That's not my everyday life. Like, everything can't be done like by the 5 o'clock news, right? So I had to learn how to work in chunks. And this is where digital, this time chunking really helped me out, so that I can make intelligent decisions about how much I should get done instead of working my nubs to the bone. The thing you'll always have to worry about me is that I'm overworking myself, never that I'm underworking myself. But you don't want overworked Jeanette. She ain't cute. Wouldn't want you to hang out with her. Not fun. She's a cranky butt. Not very nice. So I try to keep her in her place by attending to myself, mind, body, and spirit. And that's what I want you all to do too. And here's a bonus tip. And I know I struggle to say this out of my mouth because I'm one of these people, the multitasking. We get 80% more done when we will singularly focus on one thing at a time. You can be 80% more productive than when you split your attention across multiple tasks. What I've learned through science and mentoring is that I can get a lot of different things done. How well I get them done was at a pretty good level. So I didn't see the much more I could have done, the even greater I could have done, because I was cool with having gotten done 8 things pretty well when I could have done 2 things outstanding, like fireworks. And so you have to really judge, is it worth it? Sometimes, let's be honest, you're going to have to multitask, and I get that. But maybe there's times within this system where you can plan where I'm just going to singularly focus on this. That's especially true with your personal stuff too, your family time, your time for self. When you're in that time block for yourself, singularly focus on yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. You're only going to put an hour in there for lunch to rest your brain and do whatever. Then don't cheat yourself. Or, you may want to do like one of these other ones where you're very specific. It's writing time for me, 7 to 9, right? Or like this, I'm going to check out Slack and read my emails and check Twitter for an hour. At least you plan it in there so that at the end of the time, you're done. You did what you wanted to do, and then you can move on instead of being on Facebook all day, right? You get your Mindset Monday, you get your Wellness Wednesday. That's 1 hour out your day, and then that's your feed yourself time, right? And then you're out of here. You go do the stuff you got to do. Caitlin says, absolutely, multitasking shouldn't be the goal for low stress every day. Yes, sister. Vonda says, I use my household chores for exercise, but sometimes I get sidetracked. The task is not completed. And I look around and have several things undone. This is good for me. Stick to the plan and complete it. Absolutely, Vonda, because for that, you can say, I'm going to spend 30 minutes on the kitchen. I'm going to spend this amount of time on that and this amount. And here's what happens. Remember, it's scientific. Your brain will spread out that task and take up as much time as you tell it. So if you say, I'm going to clean the house today. Well, your brain is going to say, we're going to take all day to clean the house. That's not what I would want to do, right? So simple, hopeful that you all will test it. Now, how many of you that don't use digital calendars, how many of you think you will try it out? I would love to just go on a little journey with you in our empowerment tribe. And if you're not a part of the empowerment tribe, join us, because we have a Facebook group where I post this stuff and we go and we, encourage each other to keep up the good fight, to keep doing what we need to do. And all the resources I use on these shows are there too. And if you'd like to get texts from me, little things about stuff that's happening or pop-ups that I do, or even sometimes just words of encouragement, you can text the word release to 22999. Text the word release to 22999. Susan says she's going to try it. That's great, Susan. I would love for you to stay connected and let me know how that works for you. Daryl, awesome. Let's get at it. And if you're not a part of the empowerment tribe, Vaughn, hello, my friend. Vaughn's my high school friend. Good to see you. You going to give it a try? I love it. Do that. Okay. Miss Vonda said, okay, you're going to do it. Let's do it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's do it, y'all, because I'm telling you, if you start and get in the practice of it now, even if you start small, just start small. Don't get overwhelmed. Start small and do those things. And then you can start adding to your day. You don't have to have the whole thing figured out all right now. You don't have to look like that last chart. It might just be 2 or 3 things. Teach yourself how to respect boundaries. And this will go a long way beyond your daily planner. Let me tell you, this will go a long way with how you build your relationships with yourself and with others. So we are going to respect and learn how to better use our time. And, I'll be posting a few more tips in the empowerment group tribe group. so that you can, things like how to put buffers between your tasks and, how to overestimate time so that you don't cheat yourself. All of that will be in the Facebook group when we wrap up. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thank you for being here. What program do I recommend? Google Calendar. That's the one I use, Vaughn. It's easy. It's free. It's tied to my email, which makes it even easier. So that's the one I recommend. Truth. Thanks, Chuck. Another Smith rolling up in the house. Thank you all so much for being with. My plan is to be back here for Wednesdays, Wellness Wednesday. If not, I will send you out a notice that I will or won't be on. That way you all will know as well. So thank you. Monique says, I'd gotten away from doing this. Great kick in the butt to start it again. Absolutely, because 2021 is knocking on the door. Sending love. Thank you. Great information. Thank you. Appreciate you, Susan. I look forward to following that journey. Marcia says she's going to try. Baby steps. Absolutely, Marcia. Baby steps count. Let me tell you, we celebrate small wins. We absolutely celebrate small wins because that's one more step than you took the day before, and one more step from there, and one more step from there. And you look up and those baby steps take you somewhere great. Right? Love it. Love you all. Thank you for the energy you brought today. Have a great day. Share this with somebody that could use these tips. Share squad. Let's go. Share this with somebody you know can use these tips, because you're not the only one that lets time slide away from you. Right? All right. Love you all to life. Take care.
I'll be your light.